Good evening, my fine individuals. What is today? It's Wednesday, January 8th, like 9:30 at night. Don't worry about that. And we are starting a new vlog today. Hello. Hello, I'm Sophie. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to me and my fridge. I'm sorry, it's gonna be very in frame. Also, welcome to a Project Glass writing vlog. As some of you are probably already aware, I am extremely behind on my writing retreat goals. I wanted Project Glass done before the retreat even started. Actually, we're low-key in the trenches, but I have revised my goals now with the current circumstances, and have revised my goals to hopefully better reflect where I am in the project right now and make it to something that I can actually achieve. It is still a push. I'm still gonna have to work for it. It's not like a super lenient goal, but obviously the goal of having Project Glass done by November 30th is no longer feasible. Now, I want the book done before I go back to school for my spring semester, which starts on the 15th. Just cleaning up my dishes before I make this matcha. Like I already said, it is the 8th today, so I have a week to finish this, and that is pretty much a week where I can do whatever I want. I do, like, work and stuff, which is, like, just gonna happen, whatever, but the rest of my days, besides when I work, are completely open, and I can do whatever I want. And what I want to do right now is finish Project Glass. So, for the next week, I will be vlogging here, and we will be trying to finish this stupid book. It's not a stupid book. Frustrating book, maybe. Because I'm being very picky about what I'm writing. That's my fault entirely. I'm the picky one. I'm the one making it difficult. We're gonna make it work. Anyways, it starts today. Today is the beginning of me trying to push for this. So I am making a big old thing of matcha to hopefully fuel myself for the rest of tonight to get some good stuff done. Sorry, the kettle's on. You probably can barely hear me. I'll talk when I'm done. Hello, editing me here. Please excuse my appearance. Do not perceive me. I wanted to come on here because at this point you are probably noticing a few things about this video. I just said it was January 8th, and also I am still talking about the retreat in this introduction here. So what happened? What's going on here? Well, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know that I only just recently finished this book. Spoiler alert, the book is finished, but that is not in this video. Once I had finished the vlog, finished filming it, I realized I had like almost 4 hours worth of footage, and knowing how usually my videos go, that would have ended up being like an hour and 20-minute long video, and I didn't want to do that to you. So I've decided to split this video into 2 parts. This first part is going to be what I filmed in January with my original goal of finishing the book before I went back to school. And the second part, which should be out soon to when this was uploaded, will be the rest of what I filmed, which was mostly in March and April. So please look out for that and enjoy the rest of this video. Hello. I did not update when I thought I was going to. That lighting's a little better. As in, this is where we're at now. And it's also midnight. Did not end up coming back, even though I said I would, and continue talking. I don't even know what I was gonna talk about, not gonna lie. After I made this, and I sat back down here, I kind of just got back into writing. Or, back in. I started writing, because I have not written in a couple days, not gonna lie. Mostly because if I don't write consistently every day, the reason, 9 times out of 10, is because I don't know what direction I want the scene to go in. And that is what happened here with this scene. And that is why I didn't write for like 2-3 days, because I didn't know what I was gonna do with this scene. And I don't really like how this scene turned out, not really. I just finished it That's why I'm talking to you guys now. It seems kind of just a little forced. It just seems like a scene that is forcing information on us. Don't really like that, but it's gonna stick here for now. It relays information that we do need in the story, but I just think with fresh eyes at some point, I don't know when, I could relay that information in a different way that's a little more entertaining. For right now though, it just works. It just works. But I did just finish that scene, and I did just finish that chapter, which is fun. That was chapter 19. We're on chapter 20 now, and I have 31,000 words in this draft. This draft is going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. For reference, originally when I started this draft, I thought it was going to be around 35,000 words. That is definitely not going to happen anymore, because I can show you with my outline. Here we are. Here it is. It's ginormous. I have finished these 2 cards. These are the ones in this chapter. Very fun. I'm at 30,000 words right now, which is almost at my stopping point that I initially thought would be my stopping point. And this is where we are in the outline. Pretty much halfway. This is what's already been written. This is what is yet to be written. So it's going to be closer to, well, what I have in the doc right now is 50,000 words. I do think it's going to be somewhere near 50,000 words. Based off of this, it's going to be 60, but I'm keeping it at 50 because I do tend to underwrite the endings of books. That can very easily happen. But that is just for us to see in the future, hopefully by the end of this vlog. Lately, I have been surprising myself with how much I have overwritten my initial goals, so it's only bound to happen again. We're about halfway through this gargantuan outline. It's sickening. Who needs this much information? Me apparently. It's such a meticulous, and it's so pre-planned that like, it's rough. It's rough. And I find it so funny because this is so pre-planned. Like, if I don't relay the information in these cards in the exact same order as they are put in these cards, the story doesn't work. Like, that's a lot to begin with. And the fact that I'm still discovering things about this story, about these characters, that hasn't messed up the story yet, it's pretty astonishing. Yeah, I haven't found anything that like sort of reveals plot holes or anything, because usually I can catch plot holes in the outline. Honestly, I feel like I can always catch plot holes in the outline. I've never really had a huge issue with plot holes upon revision or like during drafting. Of course it's happened a couple times because it's gonna happen, but usually I will catch all those plot holes during this. But luckily none of the stuff I've discovered so far in this draft have created plot holes, even though it's very easy for plot holes to be made in an outline that's this specific. I don't know, maybe I'll find some during revision, and I'll be eating my words, but I don't think there's any. Though, while I was writing just now, I realized I had messed up the timeline a little bit, like the physical timeline of where we are, like in the month. I had squeezed too much of the story into a single week, and it made no sense to be like that. Like physically, everything that happens in the plot could not happen in a week. So I had to add a week to the story. It was an easy fix. Thankfully, I hadn't mentioned the time too much in the story. I literally only mentioned it once, which is why I was aware of it. But I was like, hold on. There are like 6 more things that need to happen before the big cutoff was the end of the fall quarter for school. So like winter break starts, that's where everything starts to go down. But there was like 6 things that needed to happen before the end of the quarter and before they were on break. And I was like, that is not physically possible to happen in the week I have given them before break starts. They have to be in school, and there's quite a bit of stuff in here where they're not in school. And that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. They need to be in school. So I did have to fix that. I don't know if that counts as a plot hole or not, but it has been patched. It has been filled in, and not a part of the outline, technically. I do kind of just make up the the physical timeline as I go, which is probably not smart. I'm also not good at tracking that, so it's just like, good luck to me. Anyways, yes, finished that chapter. It was a very short chapter because, once again, I was lost. But they are done. They're cool. I think the first scene in the chapter's okay. I think it shows the two sisters' relationship and the fact that they do still have sympathy for one another quite well, even though they don't really like each other very much. Like, they show that on the outside. They're like, oh my god, I hate her guts. But they do still care about each other. I think that shows up well in the first scene. But the second scene, just kind of bland. It's kind of stale. I don't really rock with it, but we'll fix it later. I don't know how to fix it right now. And now, we're moving on to chapter 20. I don't know what was happening in chapter 20. I was going to open this to see, and now I don't know. Okay. We got some fun stuff coming up. I know recently I talked about how I didn't want to copy from the previous draft because I didn't want to compare myself to the previous draft. These scenes I am copying from the previous draft because I really enjoy how I wrote them in the previous draft, and I think I can just spice them up a little bit. But from what I remember from the revision, I loved how these scenes in draft 1 played out and how they were written. I really just love writing in this character's mind because she has a very vivid imagination, I guess. Like, her mind's eye and what she can see in her head is very, very vivid. And usually it kind of works against her and makes old memories sort of distorted and like horrific, I guess. And that is what's happening in this scene. I will not lie. But it is a lot of fun to see how her mind and how this like grief and trauma has transformed in her head, especially with how, again, vivid and creative and like outlandish her mind tends to make everything. It is very, very fun to write, even though she's going through it. She's really in the trenches right now. She's in the trenches. I'm having a great time, frankly. Sorry, girl. This is just me ranting about characterization. I love writing crazy people. I love writing people with cool, imaginative, sometimes harmful minds to themselves, you know? But I do need to figure out what's in this chapter. After that, there's another scene that I think I will also reference from draft 1. Not the whole thing, because part of it kind of sucked, but the ending, the sort of crescendo of the scene, I really enjoyed. So I might reference that, I might not. There's still so much left in this book. Oh my god. Like I said, after winter break starts, and like that entire winter break, just chaos. It's just terrible for them and just great for me, and I am so excited to get there. But we do have until we have all these cards until winter break starts. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're probably like 3 chapters from there, which is another thing. I don't even know how many chapters this is gonna be. I'm kind of projecting it being like 35, 40, which is a lot. Which is a lot of chapters. I don't know. I'm just talking now. I'm just ranting for no reason. I'm gonna set up these scenes. Maybe go to sleep. I'm not sure. I'm kind of getting sleepy, but I also kind of feel like I can keep going. I don't know. For now, I'm gonna set up a couple chapters because I can. Because I can. OC. Let's see what happened since I filmed last. Well, for reference, it's 1:30 in the morning right now. I have a very bright lamp on. I'll explain that in a minute. But I left the coffee shop that I was at. I did some like chores, because that's so fun. Worked. And after that, I started painting. I started painting this. I don't know why exactly, but I've been painting this, and it's on a sheet of canvas, like a fabric canvas. I bought these online, and I like ordered them, and I didn't know that's what I was getting. I'm not complaining about it. I think it's kind of cool, but I thought I was getting like paper, like stiff painting paper. But this has been fun to work on. I'm obviously not done yet. I'm wrapping up for tonight. That's what I've been doing for the past like 2 hours. Maybe 3? Yeah, this isn't writing, but we ball, I guess. we ball. Oh, and that's also why I had the light on. That's why this is on, because I needed to see what I was doing. Sorry, I said I was gonna explain the light, and I didn't even explain the light. And I'm gonna turn it off now, because it's really bright. That's what I've been doing. Oops, not writing. That is not writing Project Glass. I'm sure you're aware. I'm gonna try to. Maybe. I don't know. I might also just go to sleep. I really wanted today to finish this chapter. It's a pretty big chapter. It's kind of a turning point for one of my characters, where she now realizes that time is running out for what she wants. What she wants in the entire book. Yeah, it's this point where she realizes that someone else has managed to do what she wants. Something that she thought was impossible. That she had been trying to figure out how to do it. Oh, I did not realize that was there. Sorry. What was I saying? She has been trying to figure out how to do this thing. I guess I can say it. She says it pretty early in the book. She wants to leave this town. She wants to escape this town. They are stuck in this town because of the virus that is sort of contained in the town. They don't want it to break out. So everyone from the town is stuck in this town, and she doesn't want to be. And in this scene, she learns that not even an individual has managed to escape, but an entire family has managed to escape this town, and they have told their story. It has made national news. People are freaking out because no one knew about it beforehand. This had all been very contained. All of it, the whole thing, had been very contained in this town that they live in. And this is really the first time that people are hearing about this virus that's in the town outside. Like, the rest of the world is hearing about it now. So now all eyes are on this town that they're living in. And she's realizing that she could have escaped. She could have, because this whole family has managed to. She just, one, hadn't figured out her plan, and couldn't figure one out as well as the family, and two, she didn't have the guts to. She didn't have the guts to actually leave. And now that the whole world has their eyes on this town, she knows that time is running out for her to also escape, because like the government of this town is gonna start taking extra precautions to make sure nothing else breaches containment, as in gets out of the town. So it's a lot that's happening for this character. Her entire like goal and plan, she didn't have like a real plan, but her entire like dream, in a sense, is kind of crumbling down on her, and she's realizing that like she's probably out of time. She had spent too much time wallowing and trying to think and like pretending like she was planning something when she was really just stalling. And that's not a great feeling for her. And what makes it better is that when she does learn about this was supposed to be the one time in this entire book that she was supposed to be relaxing and chilling and like kind of just taking time for herself. And that just doesn't happen. She does not get a break for this entire book. I feel bad, but it has to happen. But that's what's happening in this scene, and I wanted to get it done today because it's definitely a sequence that needs to be written all at once. Like, the whole setup to, like, realization and learning about this to the event that she triggers from her reaction to the news. it all needs to be written together. That sequence really needs to flow because we don't leave her perspective this entire time. We don't jump back to the other character in this time. We are focused on her during this entire like reaction, and it really needs to flow. It really needs to flow. So it needs to be written all at once, and I wanted to write it all today, especially when I was in that coffee shop I was in today. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll finish it here. And that didn't end up happening because I did leave early, because it did look like there were pretty dark clouds coming over, and I was like, I don't want to walk home in the rain, so I left. I don't know if it ended up raining. It probably like sprinkled a little bit, but that's where I am right now in the story. It's gonna be a big scene. It's gonna be a large scene, and that's gonna take a lot of work. So I don't know if I'm actually gonna stay up. I might just use tomorrow to write that and hopefully keep going. Hopefully keep going, because after this scene, the next chapter is gonna be pretty short. It's just 2 little scenes that I put together because they have nothing in common with the surrounding scenes, so I'm like, you two can be friends. Oh my god, also, I think I talked about this last night, but at the start of chapter 20, there was a scene that I'm pretty much directly copy and pasting from draft 1. I got to the coffee shop today, sat down, opened the doc for this project, and realized I did not bring draft 1 with me to the coffee shop to reference. So I had to completely skip that scene. Made me mad. Made me angry. I'm a chronological writer through and through. I cannot skip scenes unless like we're in dire circumstances. So it pained me a little bit to skip that scene, but now that I'm here and talking about it, I should grab that notebook. Y'all remember her? Y'all remember her? Handwriting. I love handwriting still, but I'm just on my laptop so much already for school. It just makes sense to write on my laptop. Problem is, I don't know what notebook it would be in. Okay, I think I found it. We are up. Okay, I found it. This is definitely what I remember. I just didn't realize I put it at this point in the story. Kind of makes sense though, because that's where it was in the card outline that I have. I did end up moving it though because it made more sense here. I'm taking pictures so I don't even have to remember the notebook tomorrow when I go out to write. Anyways, I've been talking for like 15 minutes now. I don't think I'm gonna keep going today. I painted all my energy away, but I will be up tomorrow and we're gonna go to a different coffee shop to write for most of the day, I think. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna try and get that scene that I just took pictures of done tomorrow, and the scene I ranted about the whole like escaped family, and then hopefully the chapter after that, because the chapter after that's gonna be small. It's gonna be a tiny chapter. Should not be an issue. That is, if I can get through that big revelation scene. We will see. But pretty decent writing day today. Not as good as I hoped it would be, but we will try again tomorrow. I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'll see you on the other side. Let's see, today is Monday. I go back to school in 2 days. Things aren't looking great. The last few days, I don't think I updated yesterday. Oops. But for the last few days, writing has been going slow. Very, very slow. And that's not been great. That's not been awesome. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like yesterday, not yesterday, the day before. I don't think I've updated in the last 2 days. 2 days ago, I wanted a 5K day. It was Saturday. I had nothing to do. I didn't have to work. I didn't have to do anything, frankly. And I wanted to do a 5K day. That didn't end up happening. I got maybe 1,400 words. And then I ended up cleaning my apartment a little bit. So that didn't happen. And I was like, cool, that's fine, whatever. The next day, I had tried to finish the 5K day. As in, I kept the 1,400 words I wrote the day before. And then just tried to finish 5K. So it was like 3,600 words. Okay. Didn't reach that either. I think I almost got 4,000 words yesterday. So not bad, but not the goal. Not my goal. And we are still very much in this book. We are not super close to the end. And that makes me kind of sad. Because I really want to be done with this book before school starts so I don't get distracted by something else. And I have the rest of today after I work, which is starting soon. But I have the rest of today and tomorrow to do most of that, and then Wednesday I do have some time since it's still the beginning of school and we're really just going over like class expectations and stuff. But to finish this book, the original goal of this vlog, I have the rest of today and all of tomorrow. Minus when I have to work, that's inevitable. I don't know if that's gonna happen, guys. Let's see. Today has been a pretty decent writing day so far. I woke up very late. I woke up at like 1. Don't hit me up, I don't know what happened. And then I wrote from probably 2 to 4-ish and got 1,800 words, so not too bad. My goal in the doc right now is 2,500 words for the day. I'm hoping to go over that, but that's the goal I've set at this point because my real goal today is to write through the sort of turning point of the story. It's definitely not the midpoint because we are not in the middle of a story anymore, but it is a big flipping point for the two main characters. I've talked about it a lot, especially in the outlining. I love these scenes, this whole sequence. It's a lot of fun to write, and I feel like that point sort of defines like the beginning of the end, both in the book for the characters and also like for picking up the pace to writing, because I feel like after this point everything goes very fast, which means I can write it fast. After work, I'm hoping to write through that set of scenes. It's gonna be a lot of scenes. I haven't broken it into chapters yet. Right now I am finishing the final scene in the final chapter. I have put in the outline here on the doc because after that it is this set of scenes where things start to go south slightly. And I really want to write all about today. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna hope for the best. I did film a real-time write with me while I was out today, so that definitely helped with the words. I love filming real-time write with me's. This one I filmed out in a cafe. It's probably already up by the time you're seeing this video, so that was a little weird. I had my camera out that whole time, just writing, but you know, who cares? Frankly, who cares? Anyways, that is the agenda for today. I really want to get, I still call it the midpoint, even though it's not the midpoint, but I do call it the midpoint. Don't hit me up. I don't know what else it would be called. It would probably be called like Bad Guys Close In or something, but I don't think we're there yet. It is very close to the midpoint though. We're gonna keep calling it the midpoint. The goal today is to write through the midpoint, to write the whole thing, because then hopefully tomorrow I can really cook with the rest of the book. Not the entire thing. That's not gonna happen. Absolutely not. But with a good chunk of it. A good chunk of it to where hopefully we'll be closing this up soon. Because I've been working on this book for a while. I was gonna say for ages. I don't think that's necessarily true. I've been working on it since November 7th. So, a little long. A little long. It's fine. It's okay. And since I'm definitely not finishing the book before I go to school, or before I start my semester, this vlog will just keep going until I finish it. But I'm hoping it won't take that much longer after school starts. We will see. I will see you guys in like 3 hours when I get off work and we lock the freak in. Let's go. Alright, I'm back. Hi. The video footage I have for this vlog stops abruptly here at this point. So I genuinely don't know what I accomplished that day. It's a little too far back for it to be in my memory anymore. So that is the end of this video, I guess. Anyways, clearly you can see now that my goal of finishing Project Glass by the time I went back to school halfway through January definitely was not happening. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it did not happen by the end of January or February or March. It took its sweet time. It took its sweet time to be written. But I will leave it there. I'll leave it there. That is it for this video. Again, look out for part 2 where I actually finish the book. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know how your writing's going. Let me know as well if you will be joining the summer writers retreat. I will be putting out an announcement video for that as well. So if you are interested, there will be more information out soon. But yeah, let me know anything and everything in the comments and hope to see you in the next one. Peace. Wow.